Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. In this episode, I'll be playing a solo game of the very popular, but out of print, Space Hulk Death Angel. Known only for its fantastic IP and brutal gameplay, I'm attempting to board a desolate ship with battle-hardened Space Marines. Here, I'll be using the base game location cards, but will include the Space Marine expansion pack. Let's board the Hulk. So, when set up for solo play, you'll be controlling 3 squads of Space Marines. These have been chosen randomly from the cards provided in the expansion, and each individual team comprises of 2 Space Marines. So we have 2 red, 2 grey and 2 orange Space Marines. This is the Space Marine formation, and these cards are double-sided, so the top 3 cards face left and the bottom 3 cards face to the right. This is the Voidlock card that shows the other requirements for the setup. We've created a random deck of location cards, and I'll keep these off screen until we need them. This is the blip count for the number of Genestealer cards on each side of the formation, so for this location there are 6 cards in each pile. The Voidlock card also shows the terrain pieces that will meet at this location, so we have a door, a couple of corridors and a vent, and these areas where the Genestealers will spawn from the blip piles. The last thing we need to do is to determine how many Genestealers will spawn on the terrain pieces, and to do this we need to turn over one of the event cards. Now, during the game, these will provide some form of effect, as well as spawning and moving Genestealers, but just for the setup, we'll focus on this area that tells us which terrain pieces and how many Genestealers will spawn. So this event card will show that we have Genestealers spawning at the orange terrain, which is the dark corner, and at the green terrain, which is the corridor. Now, we look at the spawn icons at the bottom of the Voidlock card that shows we have 2 Genestealers spawning at each of these terrain pieces. As the dark corner is on the left side of the formation, we'll spawn 2 Genestealers from this side. And 2 from this side. And I'll overlap them so you can see the Genestealer icons at the bottom of each of the cards. Now we're set up and ready to go. Each round is comprised of 4 phases. First, I choose one of the action cards for each of the Space Marine teams, which are Attack, Move and Activate, and Support. The next step is to resolve the chosen action card for each of the teams, then allow the Genestealers to attack, and then draw an event card. This will continue until I meet the requirements of the location card, and for the Voidlock, I need to eliminate one of these piles of Genestealer blips. The game ends if I can travel to and complete all of the location cards that were selected at setup, in which case I win, or if all the Space Marines are defeated, the Genestealers win. Okay, so let's go. Right, we've got a door here. If I can activate this door, I get to place a support token on it, which means that when we travel to the next location, I can remove a support token, and for each one I do, I can kill one of the Genestealers on the map area. So I'll probably want to make use of that at some point. I'll need to look at eliminating the Genestealers as well, because if they remain on the board, they get to attack my Space Marines before the end of the round. And they're pretty hard to defeat. For the orange squad, which have the missile icons on the Space Marine cards, they're going to attack. And I'll explain this special ability in a minute. So I'll probably want to activate this door at some point, and I will choose the grey team, which have this book icon. And the reason I'll do that is because they can remove cards from the blip pile if they carry out an activation. And for the red team, which have this assault, I think it's an assault rifle or assault gun or autocannon, they are going to support, which allows me to place a support token on any one of the Space Marines. This can let me carry out special abilities on the action cards, or lets me re-roll the dice in combat, whether I'm attacking or defending. Now, I've chosen the cards that I want to play this round, so the next step is to resolve them. And to do this, you look at the initiative number on each of the cards and start from the lowest and work your way up. So the red team, I can play Overwatch, which has an initiative of 4, and that's support. At the end of this event phase, each of the Space Marines may spend 1 support token to make an attack. So that's an ability that I can carry out at the end of this phase. But to carry out the support action, I take a support token and I can place it on any one of the Space Marines in the formation. I'm going to place it on Brother Leon. Next is Stealth Tactics with the grey team, where I can move and activate. So here I can move any one of the Space Marines from this squad into an adjacent position, and I can also change the facing of Space Marines as well. I don't think I want to move them, because he has a good special attack, so I'll need him quite close to these Genestealers here. And I want this one to activate the door, so I don't want this Space Marine to go anywhere. So not going to move, not going to change facing, but I do get to activate this door. And this says place one support token on this card. When travelling, the player can remove one of the support tokens from the card and take out a Genestealer. So they'll activate that door here. Now the ability on this card says that after resolving this action, I can discard one card from either of the blip piles. Now they each started with 6 Genestealers on each side. There's 2 Genestealers here. Maths isn't my strong point, but I'm guessing there's 4 in each pile left. Now, as well as the colour of the terrain piece showing where the Genestealers will spawn, the number of blocks filled in each terrain piece shows the likelihood that Genestealers will spawn there. Red is filled, which means I think that this is going to be most likely where Genestealers will spawn. So I'll remove one of the Genestealer cards from this blip pile, and I'm not going to spend a support token to do the other side because these are quite valuable. The last card is Cyclonic Volley, which is an attack card for the orange team, which are this one and this one. This says instead of attacking with Brother Adron, I can roll a combat die. I can slay up to 3 Genestealers from a single swarm up to the number of positions away, regardless of facing. If I roll a 0, there's no effect. So generally, when you attack a Genestealer, you have to be facing that swarm. So this Space Marine is facing this swarm. I roll a die. If I get a skull symbol, I can discard one of the Genestealers in that pile. If this Genestealer swarms on this side, at normal circumstances, I couldn't attack because it's behind me. Also, most of the Space Marines have a range. So this Space Marine here has a range attack of 2, which means I could attack swarms in different locations as long as I'm in the same facing. But with this card, this dude here, he can attack any side, and his range will be dependent on what I roll here. So what I'm going to do is attack with Brother Adron first, and they are going to attack this Genestealer swarm here. Because the card ability lets us negate the facing rule. All I need to roll is a 1+ because this Genestealer swarm are at 1 range. Or should I go for this one? No, because with the attack card I can also attack with this Space Marine, so they can take out these. Okay. So 2, yep, I'm within range. They actually could take out these if they wanted to, because 1, 2, they're within range of these as well. But I think these will be more of a threat because they can't be attacked this round where these ones can. So I'll remove up to 3. They get discarded. And now this Space Marine can attack. They've got no special rules for their combat, so I just need to roll the dice and hopefully get a skull, which will eliminate one of the Genestealers crawling out of these vents. Okay, just removes the 1. That card goes back. It's important to note that when you select and resolve an action card, you cannot resolve that same card in the next round. So the grey team, for example, cannot carry out their move and activate action in the next round because they've already done it this round. That is the Space Marines phase done, and it's over to the Genestealers. There's only 1 swarm, and what they do is they get to attack any Space Marine that they're adjacent to. To do this, I'll roll the dice, and the Space Marine has to roll a number greater than the number of cards in the swarm. So there's 1 card here, so I just need to roll a 2+. I've got a 4, so they are safe. Also, the skull has no bearing when the Genestealers attack. We now move over to the event phase. I can draw a card where we carry out both the special effect and the Genestealer movement and spawning. So this says for my Battle Brothers. This is an instinct card. That's generally used for multiplayer games where the player who drew the card gets to decide what goes on, but because I'm playing solo, I can tell me what to do. It says choose a Space Marine that has at least 1 support token, so only this one. And I could discard it to get rid of any Genestealers engaged with them, but I don't need to. So now we spawn. As predicted, I thought red would pop up because it's the most common type, but it's a yellow triangle, which is a major spawn, which means that 2 cards will spawn from this blip pile adjacent to the ventilation duct. 1, 2, and there's only 1 card left in this pile. For the orange terrain, which is the dark corner, there is a white triangle here, which shows that just 1 Genestealer will spawn here. The next thing we do is we look at the Genestealer swarms to see which of them has this icon here, which is a tail. There's a head here, we have jaws and a claw and another head. So there's no tail. This would mean that the Genestealers would then shift positions, and it's the whole swarm, even though only one of the cards may have had that icon. But we can ignore that and we move into the second round. So I go back to choosing the action cards, but I cannot choose any of the cards that were chosen in the previous round from that squad. So Brother Adron can't use his powerful attack again because I used that in the previous round. So this location here really means that all I have to do is just survive and get rid of all the cards in one of the blip piles. So the red team, they're going to move and activate. The grey team, I think, are going to attack. And the orange team, I can choose a move and activate, but if the red team are doing that, I can't activate that twice. So that would just allow me to move and change facing. So I think they will support instead. So the lowest card is the target lock, which is the support. Where to place it? I'll place it on Brother Scipio. So this ability here says that after resolving this card, I can take a support token and place it on any Genestealer swarm on the map. Then any Space Marine can use that support token to re-roll an attack or defense combat roll. I'll choose this one. So that can go. The next lowest number is Onward Brothers, which is move and activate. And this says that each time one of my Space Marines activate a door, I can place an additional support token on that terrain card. That's pretty good. So I can move both of the red Space Marines 1 space. And what you do is you switch positions with the Space Marine above or below them. So they'll move to the top. I can at this time flip a Space Marine card so they face the other way, but I can't see a need for doing that. And I'm not going to move the other one. I'll keep them there. But now I get to. I've moved. I'm not changing facing. I can now activate this door, which lets me put a support token on it. And then from this ability, I can put another one, which means that when I travel, 3 Genestealers will be removed because the Genestealers come with you when you change location. So I can take that. The last one is the Psionic Attack. So this is for the grey team. And then each time Lexi Canham, which is this dude right here, I think he's a chaplain. Anytime they roll a skull while they're attacking, they can make another attack. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'll use this Space Marine to attack this Genestealer swarm here because they have a range of 2, so they're within 1. Nothing. Okay, that will come up very often in this game. And Lexi Canham, a skull. So that is removed. I could attack again, but there's no one to attack. Even though these Genestealers are within range, he's facing the wrong way. Right, over to the Genestealers phase. Now, there are 2 Genestealers here, so I need a 3+. What's that? Oh, 3. So this is a D6, but one of the sides is 0. So this game does become incredibly hard. because if you have 3 or 4 Genestealers in a swarm, it's really, really difficult to try and defend against them. For Brother Caphael, I just need a 2+, but they can re-roll because of the ability earlier. 5. That won't come up very often, mark my words. Event phase. Full scan. I can choose a blip pile and discard the top card. So I will choose this one, which means that this blip pile is now empty. Now I can travel, but you must complete the phase you're on in that round. Right, so now we're going to the spawning of the Genestealers. First up again is the ventilation duct. Now that's on the right side of the formation. There's no blip pile here, so nothing happens. However, there is a major spawn on the door. Is that yellow? Yep. So there's a major spawn here. So 2 cards get spawned here. And then anything with a jaw icon will move. So this Genestealer will move down because the facing of this Space Marine shows an arrow pointing down. So they'll move down to here. That has a jaw. They'll move up to here. That one doesn't have a jaw in its swarm, so that Genestealer swarm will stay there. That's the end of the round and the phase, which means that I can now travel. To do that, I need to first remove 1, 2, 3 of the support tokens, and I can remove 3 Genestealers. So what I'm going to do is I will get rid of these 2 because they're behind Brother Leon, because Genestealers will come with me to the next location. And I'm going to keep that one because it has a support token on it. So I'll get rid of this one. Now when I travel, I get rid of all the terrain. I choose the next location card, which is number 2. Place that on top of the void lock, making sure that you can still see where the minor and major spawn icons are. Now we need to put out the terrain. So on the left side we have a vent that is 2 spots down, so that's here. So I'll move the Genestealer there. We also have a dark corner 4 spots down, so that's here. Now what this means is that if Genestealers spawn here, they're going to be behind Brother Adron. So I need to make sure they change their facing. On the other side we have that's a control panel, that's 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that goes behind Brother Leon. Again, they're facing the wrong way. And we have a corridor that's 1 space up from the bottom. And then we need to put some Genestealer cards into the blip piles, 7 on the left and 5 on the right. So 7 there and 5 there. And this is the teleportarium, and there's an activate ability relating to the control panel. So if I take a move and activate action here, I can activate this, and it says that each Space Marine has to discard 1 support token or roll a die. On a 0, that Space Marine is slain. Well, that's not good. Then regardless of the dice rolls, I discard all cards from both blip piles. And then at the end of that phase, I'll then travel. So basically I need to ramp up support tokens as much as I can on the Space Marines, then activate that while trying to stop being killed by the Genestealers. What I might do here is get the orange team to attack, and then get the other 2 squads to play the support card to try and get those tokens on my Space Marines, so when I activate the control panel, I've got a better chance of surviving. Now, there's only 1 0 on this die, but sometimes I'm not so sure. I haven't played this game for quite a while, but I am surprised that I'm not spawning more Genestealers when I do travel. I'm not complaining. For some reason I thought you did, but I'm very glad that you don't have to. So the grey team will play a support card, which is Power Field. When when played, I can actually choose one of the swarms, and those swarms can't attack this round. Likewise, I won't be able to attack them either. The red team will also play a support card, leaving an attack card to be played by the orange team. Right, so Overwatch is first. This has an initiative of 4. So I'll place the support token on Brother Valencio. Now this card ability here says that at the end of the event phase, I can spend one of these support tokens to make a free attack. I don't think I'm going to do that because I'll need these support tokens to prevent me rolling that monstrosity right there. So that can come back. Power field. So for the grey team, well, this Space Marine Terminator already has a support token, so I will place it on the other Marine. Now, because of this card ability, I can choose any swarm in the game and prevent them from being attacked or attacking my Marines later. That already has a support token, so I can re-roll there, so I'm not too worried about that. And I'll mark this swarm with a token just to remind me that they can't be attacked this round. And the last one is the Cyclonic Volley from the orange team. And this is the one where Brother Adron can roll a combat die and slay up to 3 Genestealers from a single swarm up to the number of positions away from the Space Marine. I can ignore facing, but I can't attack this swarm because of the ability that the grey team played. So I think I'll do that. Brother Adron can roll the die, and I'll need a 1. I'll need a 2 because of the range. 0. What did I tell you? If you listen carefully, you can hear the die laughing. And it specifically says on this card, if you roll a 0, there is no effect. Luckily, Brother Caphael has a range of 2, but it's adjacent, so I can attack here. And all I need to do is roll a skull. I rolled a 5. Shall I? Which means the Genestealer's not dead because I haven't rolled a skull icon. I can re-roll. I'm not sure whether to do that or leave this here for when there's more. I think I'm going to re-roll. I think I'll get rid of it and I'll attempt to get that skull. There we go. So you are dead. So that took 3 attacks, including the re-roll, to kill 1 Genestealer. I'll take you back and the Space Marines can hang their head in shame. Genestealer attack phase. Well, this Genestealer swarm can't attack because of the special ability played. I'll remove the token. And over to the event phase. Surrounded. That doesn't sound promising. It's actually not so bad at the minute. I choose a Space Marine. I move all the Genestealers from every position on the map to the chosen Space Marine's position and do not change their side. So I'm just trying to think if... So I think I'll move here because I know there's going to be a swarm going here. There's only going to be 1 Genestealer. I don't want to move it here or any of these because it's on the wrong side, and there's already going to be another spawn here as well from the orange terrain. So it's a minor spawn. There is a white triangle, which means we just spawn 1 Genestealer from the blip pile on the red ventilation duct and the orange dark corner. So just 1 of each at those locations. And there's no move icon, so we don't need to move any of the Genestealers. Okay, I'm doing quite well with the amount of Space Marines that I have. Everyone's intact, there's no limbs missing, not many Genestealers on the board. So I'm going to try and support at least 1 of these Space Marines, attack some Genestealers, and try and activate the control panel and get to location number 3 pretty quickly. And then only 1 of the Space Marines will need to roll a die. So for the red team, they will attack. Their ability allows Brother Leon to attack 3 times, and he's got a range of 3. The grey team, they're going to move and activate because I want this Space Marine to come down here, switch sides, activate this, which moves Leon up to here, and then they'll have a chance at attacking all 3 Genestealers. And the orange team are going to support with target lock. So activating target lock first, place a support token. I'm going to place it on Brother Adron just because there's a Genestealer behind him. I might need to use that for a reroll if they attack, if Leon fails. And then I can place a support token on any Genestealer as part of this ability to allow me to reroll a die when attacking this swarm. Now the grey team are going to move and activate. And the ability here says that after resolving this card's action, I can discard one card from either of the blip piles and then spend a support token to discard another one. So who's going to move first? Now, because Brother Adron is facing the wrong way, I cannot use the support token to defend against the Genestealer's attack. So I'm going to want Brother Adron to move. So I'm going to want this grey Space Marine to move, so I can switch them positions, but I'm allowed to flip them. So now this Space Marine is facing the Genestealer and the terrain as well. I'm in a bit of a better position than I was before. And then this Space Marine will also move, because you can move both Space Marines. And they will change their facing to face the control panel. So this card's special ability lets me remove a Genestealer from one of the blip piles, but I think I need to activate the control panel first. So each Space Marine can discard one support token or roll a die. If I roll a 0, the Space Marine is slain, and then you discard all cards from both blip piles. So only this Space Marine is going to make a roll. So remove all of these hard-earned support tokens. There we go. Make a roll. 4. You are safe. But these then disappear. So I can continue with this phase. Brother Leon can attack 3 times. So they have a range of 3. So they're going to attack this Genestealer first. So I need a skull. Yes. And then the one directly in front of them. Nope, but I will spend that token. Let's roll again. Yes. Although I've attacked 3 times, one of them was a reroll. So I do get a 3rd attack for this Genestealer. Nope. But Brother Valencio can step up. Yes. That's some good shooting, boys. So that's the end of the phase. I can now travel. Let's remove the cards. So we are on the 3rd location, which is the hibernation cluster. So on the right side of the formation, we have a vent that is 3 locations down, and a door which is, positions, and a door which is 4 positions down. And then for the other side, we have a dark corner at position 1, and a spore chimney at position 2. That's interesting. Now you'll notice that the value for the number of cards in each blip pile is 0. And the hibernation cluster card says, upon entering, for each Space Marine in the formation, place 1 Genestealer card into each blip pile. So, because I'm doing quite well, that's actually detrimental now. As all of the Space Marines are alive, there are going to be 6 Genestealers in each of the blip piles. So 6 on the left, and 6 on the right. And I'll put you the right way up. Again, we have the door, so when I travel to the final location, if there's any support tokens on here, I can get rid of any Genestealers. And for the spore chimney, I have to activate this card. When I do, I roll a die. If I roll a skull, I get to remove this card from the game, which I'll need to do because there's a red icon here and here. And if you remember, these are the most common sites for spawning the Genestealers. So the phase before travelling was the Space Marine phase. There's no Genestealers to attack, so we're going to go straight to the event phase. And we've got enter formation. Again, that's pretty good. Each time a player resolves a move and activate action, I can place a support token. And luckily, I've not drawn a red symbol. So we're going to have major spawns at the dark corner and at the door. So there's going to be 2 Genestealers at each of those terrain pieces. And any with the claw will move. So this one will move down. This one also has a claw icon. Now it can't move down, so what this does is flanks. And flanking means move to the other side. So both of these Space Marines are now facing the wrong way. So I really need to think about getting Brother Adron to attack, because they can wipe out a swarm regardless of facing. Now I would like the red team to move and activate, because every time they activate a door they can place an additional token on that card, but they're too far away. And I can't move the grey team because they moved and activated last turn. So that is a bit of a pain. They can't attack because they also attacked last turn. This is actually quite tricky because I want this team to attack because of the ability of Brother Adron, where they can wipe out a swarm. The grey team can't move and activate, so they're either going to have to support an attack, which means I'm going to have to get this team to move and activate, I think, which is a bit of a waste just because these are so far away. And I really need to get rid of these because of the red icons on the ventilation duct and the spore chimney. I think I was just quite lucky this round. So I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and attack, because to travel I need to get rid of cards in these, and there's 4 left in each pile. So the orange team, they'll attack. The red team at the top, they're going to go into support because this ability lets me remove a support token in the event phase to make a free attack. And I'll probably choose Brother Leon because they have a range of 3. And I would like the grey team to move and activate, but they can't. And the grey team, they're also going to attack. This card says that each time this Space Marine attacks, if I roll a skull, I can make an additional attack, but he's facing the wrong way. So it's down to this Space Marine to do the work. Not ideal. So Overwatch, I can put a support token. I'm going to put it on Brother Leon, and then hopefully he can make an attack in the event phase. Then the grey team are going to make their attack, but it can only be this one here, and they will attack these Genestealers in the bottom row. Okay, well I got 1. I have a range of 2. That's done. And then again here, only Brother Adron can attack. This Space Marine's facing the wrong way, but Brother Adron can use an ability to eliminate a swarm up to the range of the dice roll, regardless of facing. If I roll a 0, then there's no effect. I nearly swore then. Okay, so that wasn't a great turn. Probably the worst we've had so far. Limited options, and you failed miserably. Being shot by you this round was like being caressed by a wet flannel. Event phase. Looking forward to this. Stalking from the shadows. Sounds perfect. Choose 1 Space Marine with at least 1 support token, and discard all of them, not just 1, all of them, which means I cannot make the attack that I planned for when playing their support action. So that is a completely wasted turn. In fact, I've missed a a phase, I should have attacked with the Genestealers first. So we'll do that. So here I need a 3+. Yep. And here just a 1+, a 2+. Okay, I survived that barely. Then I would have done this. Nothing's changed. I remove the token. There is, as I feared, a major spawn at each of the red terrain. So one there and one here, and then another 2 at the spore chimney. And then the green terrain has a spawn, but there isn't one. We've got red, yellow, orange and red. And then anything with the head icon will move. So we have this one will move down here. We have 2 swarms at the same position, so you do the left one first. They don't move because there's a jaw and a claw. Here is 2 tails. So there's a head icon for this Genestealer. This Space Marine asks you to move them down, but you can't, so you would flank. Flanking means move to the other side, but it actually means move behind. So this Genestealer swarm doesn't move. Right, back to the Space Marine turn, and there are 7 Genestealers. We've got 3 swarms of 2 and a single loner. We used 2 attacks in the last phase. I need to get rid of this. So the grey team, they are going to move and activate. I want them to have a look at activating at least one of these, but they can remove cards from the blip pile. The orange team will also move and activate. They can move twice, and the red team are going to attack because I need Brother Leon to attack 3 times. So first up is stealth tactics, where the grey team can move. I'm just thinking about getting the red team to move down a bit. So yeah, so this will move down to here, then move up, turn facing, and I'll keep this one here. So they can activate. They're going to activate the door. Put a token there, and I can discard 1 card from a blip pile. We have 2 there and 2 there. I think I'm going to discard from here because I'm hoping that this one disappears at the end of the round if you can do your job. So I'll discard this side, and then we get purposeful advance from the orange team, which are at the bottom, where they can move and activate, change their facing, also move, change facing and activate, and then move again. So they'll move that way, and then change their facing. And then, yeah, I'm going to get this one to move. They're not going to change their facing. I'm hoping Brother Leon's attack can wipe out some here, but they do get to activate this. So all I need to do is roll the die and get a skull. Good. This disappears. They don't. And then, oh, I can move again actually. I will. I'm going to move down, not change their facing, but at least it splits up the team, so when I attack I've got a bit more variability and options. Brother Leon, you are going to attack, so I can attack up to 3 times. You're too far away. I think I need to be at least here because their range is only 2. It's going to have to be here. 1 or skull. That's 1 attack. 2. There, I think. No. Okay. Well, that's not bad. I think there's a 50-50 chance. Yeah, 50-50 chance, and I killed 2 out of 3. So Genestealer attack phase, top down. So here I'm going to attack Brother Leon. I need a 3+. 4. And here, same again. 1. No good. Slain. So you remove the Space Marine, and then the smaller segment, so we have 4 cards here, 1 in the bottom, that will then shift up to meet the bigger segment, including Genestealers and Terrain. So that Genestealer pile has, or swarm is attacked. You haven't. 2+, I only needed a 1. Now if this Genestealer swarm was on the other side, when they move up, or when that one had moved up, they wouldn't have attacked as a 3 because this swarm had already attacked. So you separate them, carry out the attack from the swarm that hasn't attacked, and then they merge. But because they were on different sides, it was easier to demonstrate. Over to the event phase. Psychic Assault. Choose a Space Marine and roll a die. If I roll a 0 or a 1, the Space Marine is slain. Well, I'm going to choose... I'm not going to choose you because one of your brothers is already gone. I'm going to choose Brother Valencio because this team has just attacked. They can't attack in the next round, and I need all the Space Marines to be blasting away. So I need a 2+. 4. That will do. So we have a minor spawn on both the red and the orange, which is the dark corner. The spore chimney has gone, so there would have been a spawn on there as well. But I did plan this well because I thought a spawn would come here, eliminating this pile, which means I can then travel at the end of this phase. But there's also one here. Now anyone with a tongue or jaw icon will flank. So that includes you. We don't have one here. We don't have one here. We've got one here in the swarm, but you are already on the reverse side. So that is the end of the event phase, and now we can travel to the last location. So get rid of the Genestealer. I can kill one Genestealer. I think it's going to have to be you. And then the terrain disappears. The last location card, and this is the launch control room. There are 6 Genestealers in each pile. The Genestealer deck has been used up. This is the discard, so I need to shuffle this to generate a new deck. 6 here, 6 there. For terrain we have a dark corner at position 1 and a terminal at position 3, or control panel, sorry. On the other side we have a vent at position 2 going up and a corridor at position 1. So the launch control room has one of 2 abilities that you can carry out. You can either activate the control panel with a move and activate. When you do, you place a support token on this card, or you can roll the die. If the value of the die is equal to or less than the number of support tokens on that card, then the Marines win. Now I'm thinking, with the cursed nature of this die, if I get 1 support token on here and roll, there is at least a 99% chance I'm going to roll a 0. But I can only activate that once per round, so this is going to take time. So the red team, here and here, they're going to carry out a move and activate. And I think everybody else is going to have to attack. Yeah, grey team will attack, because if I roll a skull, they can attack again. And Brother Adron can use his missiles to wipe out a swarm. So that at least gives me a bit of breathing room. So first up is Onward Brothers with an initiative of 7. Move and activate. The ability says that each time I activate a door, I can place another token, but there's no doors, so that becomes irrelevant. So you are going to move down, or up, sorry, to here. I'm not going to change your facing. I'm not going to move you because I want you to attack and your range is 2. 1, 2. So to activate that, control panel. Next up is the grey team's attack. So I'll have you attack here. Yep. And then you attack here. 1, 2, yeah. And because I rolled a skull, I can roll again. I would have passed. Okay. And last up, Cyclonic Volley. This team only has Brother Adron left, so I can choose a swarm. As long as I don't roll a 0, I want to get rid of this swarm here. 1. So 1 position away. Not bad. Could have been a lot worse. So this swarm will attack Brother Leon. I need a 2+. Done. This swarm will attack Brother Adron. Again, I need a 2+. 4. Evasion. In the next round, when a player resolves an attack card, I can only attack with 1 Space Marine instead of both. Now, only this team can attack. We have a minor spawn both at the control panel and the ventilation duct. And any Genestealer with the head icon will flank its Space Marine. That's the only one. They are on the same side as Brother Adron, so they will flank over. So now Brother Adron has 2 Genestealers on the wrong side. Okay, back to the Space Marine's turn. Remembering that only 1 Space Marine from each squad can attack, and that only the red team can attack this round because the other squads did so in the previous round. I could attempt to move and activate the control panel. There's one support token on there already. I've got nothing to lose. Chances of me rolling a 0 are pretty high. But I've got to say I'm doing well. I've got 5 Space Marines left and I'm in the last location. Those watching, tell me if that's unheard of. So I think the red team are going to have to attack. With the other teams, they're going to have to move and activate and support. So it's an attack. Full auto. See, for the red team, they're facing the wrong way. I'd want them to try and attack here, but they're both facing this side. The orange team, they're going to move and activate. It's only Brother Adron on that team, since his brother has fallen. And the grey team, I think they're going to support. So we'll choose this action first, and who can they support? Well, everyone is actually facing to the left. So if these Genestealers attack, they won't be able to use the support token to re-roll the dice for defense. So I don't think it really matters. Oh, but I can, after resolving this card's action, I can choose any swarm and they can't attack this round or be attacked. So I'm going to choose this swarm here and I'll mark it with this token. I forgot about that ability. Move and activate for the orange team. So Brother Adron will move up 1 space. I'm not going to change facing. I will activate the control panel. I won't roll the die just yet. I think I'm asking for too much. But they can move again. So I might have them move back down. Now I'm not sure if they can change their facing because it does say move again, but I think I think moving, or at least change facing, is part of the movement action. I'll assume it is, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I also want to move Brother Adron out of harm's way. These Genestealers aren't attacking this turn, these ones are, and if he falls, then the orange squad is out the game. Just gives me less options. So Brother Leon can attack 3 times. I can only attack here. Yeah. Okay, Genestealer attack phase. Over here, Brother Leon has to defend. I need a 2+. That's a 1. So Brother Leon has fallen. So there are 2 Space Marines in each segment, and if they're equal, then the bottom segment will shift up. So Brother Adron moves to here. So does this Genestealer swarm and the ventilation duct, and that moves up. I'm not glad I've lost another Space Marine, but I'm happy I did move Brother Adron. And the 2 Genestealers that join this swarm won't attack because of the token played by the grey team. Right, event phase. We have Chaos of Battle. Change the facing of every Space Marine. Okay. Well, all the Genestealers are on this side at the minute. I don't know where they're going to be after the spawn. And that was for you. And there are minor spawns at the red and yellow, so that's these 2. That isn't good actually. Control panel, and again the ventilation duct. And any Genestealer with a head icon moves. That's a claw. This swarm has a head, and they are going to move up. I'll just move this. Okay, down to 4 Space Marines, 5 Genestealers. I do have 2 attacks. I think I'm going to activate the control panel one last time before rolling. I don't want to waste an action. So the orange team will attack. Brother Adron will attack. Hopefully to try and get at least 3 Genestealers from this swarm with their special ability. I'm going to have the grey team move and activate this time. And I'll have the remaining... I'll have the remaining squad member of the red team do a support action, because can remove a support token to get a free attack in the event phase. Right, that seems reasonable. So first up is support, and they are going to... Who shall they support? Yeah, they'll support themselves. Grey team are going to move and activate, and I can discard cards from the blip pile. So this Space Marine will take the position of Brother Adron and change their facing. And I'll move this grey Space Marine up. And I am going to change their facing. So they are at least facing the dark corner. And I can remove a card from the blip pile. How many here? There's 4. 4. Doesn't really matter. Well, red's this side, so I'll remove this one. And I'm not going to spend a support token to do it again. Cyclonic Volley. So Brother Adron, I'm going to try and get them to remove 3 Genestealers from here. Well, I don't need to nominate first, because if I roll a 1, it'll eliminate that one. If I roll a 2+, it's 3 from here. 2. Genestealer attack phase. Oh, actually, I forgot to activate the control panel. So this Genestealer will attack here, 3+, and here I need a 4, that's fine. So I needed a 2+ there and a 2+ here, so that's good. Outnumbered. I have to discard all support tokens from Space Marines that are engaged with the swarm. So that's just you. And we have a Genestealer at orange. And one at red. And anything with a claw icon will flank. So that's a head, that's a jaw, that's a claw. Right, I'm going to attempt to use the control panel and get out of here. Every time I've gone to use the support token to carry out the action on this Overwatch support card, which means that I get a free attack in the event phase, this card has removed that swarm token. I think I've tried it twice. So you can attack. Brother Adron is going to move and activate. And I'll get the grey team to support. So they will support Brother Valencio. I can now choose a swarm to be protected from attacking or being attacked. I'm not going to use that. Oh, I could use that actually. Yeah, I'll put it there. So this swarm can't attack or be attacked. Move and activate for Brother Adron. So they move up one. I'm not going to change their facing. I am going to attempt to escape. So I need a 0 to 3. What do you know? That's frustrating. I'm not going to move again. Right, so Brother Valencio is now going to attack. They'll attack here twice and hopefully here once because they can attack 3 times. So no. Yep. And they'll attack this spot again. Yep. Genestealer attack phase. This Genestealer won't attack. This one will. 0. I will use a support token. I need a 2+. 0. Oh no. The red team is out. And then everything moves down. This is not good. So I've had a failed opportunity to leave and failed to defend twice. Event phase, the swarm. I add 2 Genestealer cards into each of the blip piles. So 2 there. And 2 there. I can move this down a bit now. This isn't looking good. I'm down to half my squad. There are minus spawns at yellow and orange. There are still 3 in there. And then everything with the tail flanks. Just this one. Right, I really need to leave now. Okay, I've got the action cards in view now. Grey team are going to, if they attack, they can only attack this side because everyone's facing this way. They will move and activate. And Brother Adron, you are going to attack. Yeah, he'll attack. I was going to support, where I can put a support token onto a Genestealer swarm that's used as a free reroll for any Space Marine. But I want to get rid of these. So, move and activate first. I'll move you down. You're not going to change your facing. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm not going to add a token. I'm going to, I've got a 1 in 4 chance. Yes. If the roll is equal to or less than the number of support tokens, the Space Marines win. Okay, so I'm able to leave. I've got a 1. I needed a 0 to 3. I'll continue and we travel at the end of this phase. The only thing to do is for Cyclonic Volley from Brother Adron 4. I will wipe out this Genestealer pile. So that's it. We've escaped. And I've still got 50% of my Space Marines left. I wasn't actually doing too badly until the last location when I lost 3 Space Marines in a very short period of time. But I do think the combination of Space Marines that I've had were pretty complementary to each other. I quite like their abilities. And each round I had opportunities to either stop Genestealers swarming, get rerolls, or carry out multiple attacks, or at least remove a number of Genestealers with just 1 dice roll. I did think you were going to end me, but luckily I was able to place enough support tokens on here from activating the control panel. I've forgotten how good this game is, and I do much prefer playing this game solo than multiplayer. I like having the options of 3 Space Marine squads to choose from and seeing how I can connect the actions to ensure a safe turn. It doesn't always happen because of you, but when it does, it's very rewarding. Thank you to everyone who took the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed the video. If I've made any mistakes, please let me know in the comments. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.